What's up YouTube? This is Vale the Old Man Gamer bringing you some Dragon Age Inquisition. This is for the Astariums that are in the Storm Coast. So what you first want to do is you want to head down towards the coast. You know, it's not that bad. Once you start going down the coast, you're going to come up to a split on the beach. There's going to be a way to go to the left. What I did was I went to the right, and if you go to the right, you can get the middle difficulty puzzle out of the way and then come back and get the first one and then do the third one last. So I've sped up the time a little bit and I'm headed towards this like little island thing that's out in the middle of the water. There's these dragonlings, they drop dragon blood and some kind of dragon scales. There's also one of the rifts is over here. There's also a one of the skull things that you look through to find shards. So you have those three things on this one little island. So you head up this mountain and then you get to the first Astarium. After the first Astarium is done, you're going to head back down towards the way that you came in. This cave off to the right has some spiders and deep stalker, like little dog-looking things. But yeah, so once you get through the first thing, you're just going to head back to the coast to that part where I said you can either go left or right. You know, these mobs respawned on the beach. I have to say that I like how things respawn in this game. It's not like too overbearing where everything's always in the way, but at the same time, if you need to kill something, you can find it. It's not, you know, like you're waiting 20 minutes for something to respawn because you need spider blood or some crazy thing like that. You can really just travel to a camp and then travel back to the cave and everything will be back. So yeah, once you go up this mountainside, the second Astarium, which is actually should have been the first one, is in front of this tree that overlooks the whole coast. I also want to mention that once you hit the once you finish the puzzle, if you hit the Astarium, it shoots a beam of light towards where the next two are from the first one, so you can kind of gauge where you wanted to go. So, like I said, on that second one, the third one was down the mountainside. Right here, originally I went to the left. That's why I put arrows to go to the right. You follow the cliff wall. And then you're going to come across this awesome scene, a giant versus a dragon. You can go over there and fight the giant. The dragon flies away, but the giant, he basically kicked my ass the first time I fought him. He threw giant boulders at me and he basically one-shotted me because all my guys were level 4 or 5 at that point. But I did manage to kill that giant at level 5, so I'm not sure what level the giant is, but I was able to do it at level 5 with my mage. But this character is obviously my rogue that I was just doing all the Astariums with. So yeah, so if you're following the path, you can see how this is like a giant circle to get to this last Astarium that's up on the top of the hill. It's also a claim point for a rock tree or something like that. And here's the third Astarium. This one was a little bit more difficult. You wanted to kind of do the top part and then the middle part and then the bottom part. And the crazy part about this one was that they threw in 2 stars to deliberately screw you up. And you saw my cursor go over one of them right there. But if you look at the picture, those stars actually aren't in the constellation at all. They are deliberately there to mess you up. So make sure that you don't click on those because you know, you'll have to restart it, and this one is kind of long. So once you've done the third Astarium, once you click on it, it's going to shoot a beam of light towards the cave entrance that has 3 loot chests and 1 mob. The mob is really simple. But yeah, so this cave opens up, you go down the ladder, there's a thing that you can light up somewhere. But there's also 3 chests. The spider just dies really quickly, he's just a normal mob. But the thing that I didn't like about this is that once you get to the loot chests, I don't think they change. I've done this on my mage, and the items were the same, identical items. So it seems that the loot chests inside the Astarium caves are always going to be the same items. I'm probably going to do this a 3rd time and see if this is the case. But yeah, so as you can see here, this next loot crate is where I got an epic bow, which did nothing for my mage in my first play. But anyway, so that's the Astariums on the Storm Coast.